Hello and welcome. It is Wednesday. It's 3 o'clock in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we are live on the OneStream Live YouTube channel. And today's broadcast, I just need to turn this up a bit. Today's broadcast is all about Easter live streaming, tackling common issues. It is Wednesday. I can now turn the volume down on my phone and join you on screen. Hello and welcome. You have to do pre-checks before you go live. I mean, the major one is I've got an Achilles heel. Welcome, by the way, and welcome to this live broadcast on YouTube. First thing I need to do is to connect the chat, and I'm going to say hello. Right. And welcome everyone. So I'm going to show that on screen. Welcome everyone to this live broadcast on the OneStream Live YouTube channel. And I've just said hello. So there you have, everything's working. I think that all is good. Okay, what I actually do, little trick, is basically when you are doing an important live broadcast, and many broadcasts over Easter are important, is to actually test everything first. And I know that some of you say, well, I broadcast every week. Well, that's fine, but this is a special weekend, and what you don't want is to have any problems. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at troubleshooting before you actually go live. So let's bring on the card. I'm going to add it to the stream, replace the media, take myself off full screen and go side by side like so. And like so is like that. Okay, so we're doing the introduction now. I'm Stephen from wonderful Wiltshire, England, and welcome to my broadcast today. And what we're going to be looking at is bandwidth bottlenecks, and that'll be followed by audio glitches and echoes, camera failures or bad angles. In other words, basically all of this can be done before you actually go live. Streaming platform errors. Now it depends on the platforms you're actually using. I'm using OneStream. OneStream is ultra reliable, and I know that when I go live, it is simply going to work. If you're using vMix, XSplit, Broadcaster, or VCam, then you do need to test beforehand that you've got the latest version of the software. Last minute tech team gaps. Now, if you have a broadcast which involves not just the people who are going to be on screen, but the back office. In other words, you've got somebody looking after the chat, you've got somebody looking after the cameras, you've got a team of people who are responsible for the broadcast. What's going to happen on the day? Anything could happen. You need to have the ability to deal with team gaps, with people not being able to appear on the day. Lack of preparation is the biggest problem that you have, and I'll come to that. In the tech setup, you've got the video, you've got the audio, you've got the team, a backup plan. You need a backup plan. And as I was doing earlier, I actually monitor this live stream. So what I've done, I've got this live stream on my phone, and it's on 4G. Just a minute, I'll show it to you. Just a second. And if I come to me, simple, but I've got the broadcast on 4G. In other words, it's not running on my Wi-Fi. And I've checked that the picture is okay and the sound is okay. And I know it's good. And I can do that within the first minute of actually starting to broadcast, because it takes 30 seconds for everything to connect, then 30 seconds to check everything's working, and then you're good to go. That's why it's a great idea to actually have a show card, because you can show the show card at the beginning. And the other thing I would do in terms of being ready is I would go live a couple of minutes before, so that before people start joining you on the hour, go live a couple of minutes before. You've got a couple of minutes to actually resolve anything that may be a problem. Yeah, prevention is better than cure, especially in live broadcasting. Now, I come back to me, monitor the stream, which is what I was doing then on my mobile phone, and then maintaining engagement. I've got the chat open in my studio, and when people make a comment on the OneStream Live YouTube channel, I can bring that comment on screen and show it. Because one of the things you want to do is to actually maintain engagement, and having the chat in the studio rather than being a separate entity. I mean, the thing is with the chat, basically people can say hello, they can be commenting, they can be asking questions. And if you have a team around you, then the team can answer the questions. It is important in live broadcasting, wherever possible, to have a team of people involved. So that if one person has a problem, you can simply bring somebody else in. So when you're actually training a team, you need to be training a team plus, so that you have people who can take over any position. Okay, let's go rewind to the beginning. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And I'm going to take it step by step. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. If you have any questions after this live broadcast, then put them in the chat on Facebook. I will answer them as soon as I can. Okay, because the after the broadcast is important too. I always go to the YouTube video an hour after the broadcast, just to check that everything was okay. Okay, always watch your videos back. We should always be learning. There's no such thing. I'm going to tell you now. Two things. Three things. First of all, live broadcasting now is stable. Stabler than it's ever been. The internet, the cameras, the microphones, all the moving parts are more reliable than they've ever been. So the occurrence of problems on a live broadcast is small, providing you run through the checks and tests beforehand. Okay, and the second thing is that we can actually learn from every broadcast that we do simply by watching it back. I know if you don't like watching yourself on camera, then I can understand that. Yeah, I mean, I basically, I don't watch the full broadcast back, but I do skip through the broadcast to make sure that everything is as it should have been. One of the things that two things I'm known for. One is forgetting to switch my microphone back on after playing a video. So I always check that I haven't done that during the broadcast. And the second thing is I'm actually sat down as a chair, and I don't want the chair to actually appear in the broadcast. So I want to make sure that I'm sat comfortably in front of the screen, in the center of the screen, looking at camera. From a solo point of view, that's where you want to be. The other thing is that basically, if possible, on an important broadcast, have a rehearsal. You don't need all the people who are taking part in it to be present. You can actually bring in substitutes, and they would take the part of somebody else. Okay, so from your team, nominate people to do a particular aspect of the presentation and just check it. Okay, and you actually want to check everything. One of the most important things in a live broadcast, well, two, but one of the most important is sound. We know that if you're broadcasting live and your sound is bad, if there is interference, if there are problems with the sound, people go on to the next item. And always when you're broadcasting solo, keep one eye on the chat. My eye on the chat and over there, and we say hello to Ashu. Welcome, Ashu Gaming. And Ashu is a YouTube creator. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Okay. If you have any questions, please do ask. That's what we're here for. I'm here to listen as well as to talk. And next comment coming in, and I had almost 10,000. Congratulations on having almost 10,000 followers. That's quite an achievement. I know how difficult it is, and congratulations on reaching that number. And I hope that your broadcasts are successful. That you well, the thing is, I mean, even a special weekend service, you want to enjoy it. You want to enjoy your live broadcasting. So let's go back to where we were and go back and go here. And I'm going to keep an eye on the chat and comment coming in. If you want, can be in cooperation. This particular, thank you for the offer. All the comments that are actually made on the broadcast will be seen by the OneStream team. I work for OneStream. I'm very fortunate in that. And the OneStream team do watch the video afterwards, so your comments will be seen. That's all I can say in relation to that. But thank you for joining me. Well, and thank you for joining me. No buts there. Okay. One of the critical factors over the Easter period, it's a very busy period for broadcasting. Okay, you've got events going on, you've got church services going on. It's a very busy time. Now, if you have a shared internet connection, then you may have bandwidth problems. Always have a backup as far as the bandwidth is concerned. You're most welcome, and I've got an okay. To have a backup plan. Now, basically, I'm very fortunate in that I have a backup. I've got a program called Speedify, which combines my mobile signal with my internet signal to give me a higher upload speed. You need to broadcast live, you need at least 5 megabits. If you can go to 10 megabits, then you'll have a good quality broadcast. The other thing is that at times like this, you can actually change the resolution of your broadcast. So rather than just being 1080p, you can put it down to 720. Now, the thing is that the higher the number, the more bandwidth it takes up. So if for the weekend you drop your 1080 down to 720, I've got to say, I've got to be honest here, most people will not notice. Yeah, you can reduce your bandwidth, your resolution to reduce your bandwidth, and most people will not notice because they're watching on their mobile phones, and it's just an option. So I would test both at 1080 and 720 and see basically on the replay exactly what is happening. So bandwidth, the thing that you can do, positive thing you can do, is to step down from 1080p high definition down to 720, and you'll be making better use of your bandwidth. And if you do have throttling problems because of a shared connection, then they will be, well, the effect will be lessened. Now, I'm very fortunate. If you can get a full fiber connection, then do that. Full fiber allows us to upload at, well, speeds over 100 megabits. So full fiber is your preferred internet connection, because then you will have at all times. If you've got a full fiber, you can definitely broadcast at 1080p. Only if you've got a shared connection, do think about dropping it down to 720. Okay, now I'll go over in the studio over here. This is a card, and I'll dispense with the card in the moment, but we talk about bandwidth and dropping down, and the next thing is audio. And I'm going to go over to here, and I'm going to go here, and what I'm do now is I can hide that card. Come back to me. So basically, I'm going to let you in on a little secret now. I am in my OneStream Live studio, and because I'm in the OneStream Live studio, the information that was on the card is now on a teleprompter in the studio. So I've got the teleprompter on screen with big type, so I can actually read it, and you can't see it. Now, this has two effects. One, I don't have to keep showing you the show card to remind myself and to remind you what we're actually talking about. And the other thing is that I can just read off the teleprompter and you don't even know. I mean, I can go to item 2 now, which is audio glitches and echoes. Now, in a situation where there's just you on screen, there are no echo problems. So the thing that you have to test is that your audio sounds good. The only way to do that is to create a short recording. Yeah, you don't have to do the full service, just a short recording to make sure that your own microphone is working will suffice. The problem that can occur when you've got several people in a live broadcast, not necessarily at the altar or in the choir or wherever, each one would need a separate mic, and the separate mic feed would come into your system and there wouldn't be a problem. But if you've got 3 or 4 people adjacent to you and they're all talking, you may get feedback. What you do need to do is practice and remove that feedback, by positioning of microphones, by using the ability to have noise cancellation to remove any echo. You don't want any audio glitches or echoes. It's all under your control, and you can test before you actually go live. Test recording, okay, and get everybody involved. Now, if you have several cameras in your broadcast, they all need testing individually to make sure the feed from the camera into the broadcasting software that you're using is good. Okay, now is the time to adjust, to get into focus, to change from 1080 to 720, to make sure you've got a clear, crisp image. Do it before. Practice. Practice is the key. The word I'm going to keep using during this live broadcast is practice. And I'm keeping one eye on the chat. I want to say thank you for the chat earlier. Audio glitches, because the thing is that if you watching a fuzzy video, then you can put up with watching if the sound is good. If the sound is not good, then you need basically to sort your microphones out, and you have to make sure that the sound from every part of the building is of equal quality and at the same audio level. What you don't want is one section to be high, another section to be low. What you want is everybody's volume to be in the middle. Yeah, and that takes testing. And you, again, on the practice, you can sort out the microphones, make sure you've got no feedback, that each of the microphones is functioning properly, and there are no echoes. It's in our gift to actually be able to sort the sound out, okay, by using noise cancellation software, by the positioning of the microphones. Yeah, but do get that sorted. Camera problems, you need to make sure that each of the cameras works and the feeds works. It could well be that you have several cameras and they go full screen, they go part of the screen throughout the broadcast. If they're all working properly, then you can switch from one camera to another. You can have several cameras on screen at the same time, just like you can in one stream live. You can have up to 5 cameras on screen. And basically check the camera. So we've gone for the micro, we've gone bandwidth, audio, and camera. Those are the 3 ingredients. And lighting. Don't forget the lighting. Okay, every part of every area that's being broadcast needs to be well lit. And you've got the lighting within the building. If you need extra lights, if you need spotlights, bring those in as well. And again, test. Get the lighting right, because what you don't want is one part of the broadcast to be in beautiful lighting and another part to be in the dark. Yeah. We talked a moment ago about balancing the volume. You've also got to balance the lighting. Okay, I've got a particular situation. In my office, I've got a big window. and the sun can shine through, and the sun destroys the picture really, because people start watching the sun moving during the course of the broadcast. So do remove any distractions. Make sure that what you want to do is, where possible, we have presenters, is to get them to actually look at the camera. Because if you look at the camera, you're actually looking directly at the viewer. Now, my cameras are up above my monitor. It is a learned skill to remember to actually look direct at the camera rather than looking at the screen. Because if you look at the screen, you're actually looking down. Look at the camera and just forget everything else. Yeah. So all your people who are going to appear need to be camera wise. And the wise is look at the lens, and that takes care of most of the problems. Okay. Now, streaming platform. I'm obviously going to recommend OneStream Live for church streaming. OneStream Live is used by many churches around the world for their live streams because, one, the reliability. Okay. Two, the quality of the broadcast, the quality of the video, the quality of the sound, the fact that you can have multiple cameras on the screen. All part of OneStream, the fact that I've got the teleprompter, which is helping me at the moment. All of these are things which can help with your broadcast and therefore improve the experience of people watching. Because what you're after is getting a quality broadcast that people will watch. You've got the message, you have the stories, you need to have the presentation to be as good as you can do it. Okay, so you've obviously got your own, if you broadcast every week, you've got your own normal streaming platform. So I stay with that. But if you're using vMix, XSplit Broadcaster, or VCam, then basically make sure that everything works. Make sure your software is up to date. If you're using a browser-based system, the software will be up to date. If you're using an application, make sure you download the latest version and you've tested it. Okay, now the next thing further down, and I'm going to my teleprompter here. Basically, just let me put my glasses on there. I can read everything. Okay. The next thing is lack of preparation. I've talked about that. Last-minute tech gaps. Do have staff trained already. So on the day, if there is a problem staff-wise, you can swap people out. It's great to have all-rounders, people who can work the cameras, people who can work the mics, people who can work the computer itself. What you don't want is to have any glitches on the day. You're in a situation now, today, before Sunday, you've got 3 more days to check everything out, make sure the team know what they're doing, make sure they know what the responsibilities are. Now, tech setup, we've talked about video, audio, and the team, and the backup plan. Always have a plan B. I said at the top of this broadcast, the majority of live broadcasts run smoothly. That's because people test and plan. Okay, so you've got a running order for your broadcast. That helps you to guide the broadcast from beginning to end. People in your team have got the running order. They know what needs to be done when. The other thing you can do, and I was doing earlier, is to actually monitor the stream and make sure that the quality is there, make sure that the video is good, make sure that the sound is good, make sure that the lighting is good whilst you're broadcasting. And you can do that on a separate monitor, second monitor, or you can do that on a mobile phone on a separate, on a 4G signal or a 5G signal instead of using the Wi-Fi. If you had a monitor which was on Wi-Fi, you'd actually be using part of your own bandwidth. Don't do that. That's why I suggest using a mobile phone to monitor everything, because that can be on 4 or 5G. You're actually seeing a broadcast not affected by your phone. It's actually the actual live broadcast that's going out. And checking is a great way to actually catch things. If you notice somebody's microphone's got a problem, then you can swap it out. Do have, if possible, I'm talking about possible, if possible, spare microphones that have already been tested. So if there's a problem with the microphone, you can swap it out. If people are wearing lapel microphones, a spare lapel microphone can solve a problem very, very quickly. A plan B, so that you have everything you need to get in, to jump into action, take charge and sort it out. Okay. Now, the other thing you've got to do on a live broadcast, and I'm going to take that off now. The other thing you've got to do on a live broadcasting is peculiar and special, because in a live broadcast, you can actually engage with the people who are watching you. You can't do that with a blog, you can't do that with a photo, but with live video, as we did earlier, I can engage with people who are watching. And I did that earlier when I put that on screen. And I welcomed everyone to the broadcast. Okay, so those are things that you can do. Engaging with people makes a lot of difference because it keeps people in the know. Have somebody monitoring the chat. If you're in OneStream Live, you can have a team member monitoring the chat. And I'm just going to hide that. Right, just a reminder for everybody. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to put this full screen. We have our own Easter broadcast called Streaming Hope. It's a OneStream Live exclusive on Thursday, the 17th of April. It's Joe Shepherd from Ireland, Krisa from Finland, and Stephen from England. And we will be broadcasting live for 2 hours, starting at 5 p.m. in the UK. We'll be doing everything in relation to live broadcasting and introducing you to the directors of OneStream Live, showing you the benefits of live broadcasting, and anything can happen and probably will. Joe is hosting the show. Chris and I have our own segments in the show, and it's going to be brilliant. So Thursday, 17th of April, 5 p.m. Join us if you can. Okay, back to me. Right, in summary, you're in control. You can test, you can train, you can have backup equipment, have your mobile phone, signal if you need it. Test everything beforehand. The more testing you do, the more confident you become. And you want to be totally confident that the broadcast is going to run smoothly. From the video, to the microphones, to the internet, to the lighting, the running order, and that your team know exactly what's going on. It is definitely a team at live broadcasting, and that's what it will be when we're broadcasting tomorrow. Live broadcasting is the best way that we can reach people who cannot make it to the live event. From wherever people are in the world, they can watch the live event using live video. They can get involved through the chat and become part of an experience. An experience is enhanced when people come and watch and comment. As the producer of the show, get the right team together, practice, make sure everything works, enjoy the broadcast yourself, sit down in relief when it's all over. But live broadcasting is where it's at. It's where we actually make a difference by reaching out and becoming part of the lives of people around the globe. And I do it all with OneStream Live. And this is my go-to system. I use this system 2 or 3 times a week. And it's just so robust and so, reliable. Yeah, you want a reliable system. And this is OneStream Live. And I do my broadcasts. I'm live every Wednesday on the OneStream Live YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time. That's when I'm back. Whenever your event is, I wish you every success. And I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live today. If you've any questions, especially if you want to help me get to 10,000 viewers, that would be good. If you have any questions at all about live broadcasting, always ask OneStream Live. OneStream Live have a support team behind the scenes of every broadcast. I can click a button. I can get assistance from a person. The assistance that we require when we're live, just press a button and we can get assistance from the OneStream Live team, who are real people. They're not AI. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching my broadcast today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye for now.